Hey everybody, welcome to today's video review. And so if you want, you can send your work to me for a review like this. And even when you didn't send something, it's still useful to look at reviews for other people's art and also try to see if you can find some things or see some things, etc. So it's even useful to watch and study other people's work even when it's not yours. So let's start with this drawing from Sion. So cool character. And let's do a draw over of it. So first, I always start with the line of action. So cool character, I think you did good job. And these are great studies to do. So nice. So let's see at this action line, and what I like is that this head is cute. And I think it's, so for example here this head is almost like this, but I think it's good to draw the skull as one shape in your sketch. So draw through your shapes. So something like this here. There seems to be a little angle in it, so that's cool. So let's have that in here. So we see a bit more of this ear than this ear. I think this ear should be a bit smaller, but these glasses, I think this glass sticks there a bit out more than there. So it's just rough. Let's see, this nose should also be a little bit from the side than if this character is looking that way. So also, how would I draw this nose? But I think that this nose would look a bit like this or something. So we are looking a little bit from the side of it. And when I'm drawing a nose, sometimes I try to think of these kind of diamond kind of shapes that can help with drawing the nose in different angles. Also this mouth, maybe something like this. Then the hair. So really think about that these shapes are round, something like this. And think about, so here we have the skull and the hair is a bit on top. So leave some space between that hair and then the skull. So for the neck comes out of the head. So that's, I think here, this part, something like this. And then we have that hand here. If this is the head, like this, the hand is this big. So in this case, I think the hand is this big, a bit as long as the hairline. So I think something like this here. So first draw it in these two shapes like this. So divide the end, going to the middle. So something like this. Then the proportions of the hand. So first sketch it in like this, and I like the sleeve. So it's overlapping this part of the face. So when I'm drawing these kind of sleeves, draw the whole circle like this. So around. Then here. So it's really useful to draw this arm like this. I think it should be a little bit shorter. I don't know. So what I sometimes do is when I'm drawing a character, so I'm using these proportions. So here, 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 so something like this are the proportions of the body. Something like that. So then you know that the elbow is around that height. So if we if this is the middle, then the elbow is probably something like this. So this seems okay. Then I'm using the skeleton to figure out body size, like this here. And you can be really sketchy in this face. Later we will clean it up. Just trying to find the right shapes. So turn off this drawing a bit. And then erasing. So I think it's really useful for you to really think in, for example, here with this pelvis, to draw these construction parts and to draw it really true. So like this here. Then we have the leg. It's going like this here. Then something like this. And that is going down. And later, and once I have these shapes, I'm going to draw the lines on top of them. So erasing this a little bit. Maybe take a different color. And later we're going to draw on top of it again. So then figuring out a line like this. And it's really important that you draw through these shapes. Get the right feeling. So maybe also I'm using those straight against curve. So this part is straight and here's of course a curve. But here is this S shape a little bit. Then we have this line. So I like that you did this, that overlapping line. That's really important. So great work on that. And then it is knee. Maybe also use this overlapping line there. And then we have this leg going in, and here we have this pants, and because of the gravity, we have a side that's going past this, and this part is loose. So for the feet, it's really useful to draw this feet with construction, and then to draw the shoe on top of it. So maybe search for a photo of a shoe in that position, use some reference, and then really try to think about the construction. I also find it hard to draw shoes without reference, but try to think about that construction and the perspective. Here, I think here this part feels too much like this. So I think it's better to maybe almost, or maybe this is a straight line, and then here we are using an S shape. And here we're using curved, then here a straight line like that. Maybe you see a little bit of the feet here or something. But what I really want you to do is really use that construction. These lines feel all too separated. For example, this sleeve feels too much like this, and it's really important to draw through. So really try to think around how these shapes are connected to each other and how everything is in that 3D shape. The proportions and the anatomy seems correct. Only try to really think about using these, how to draw the anatomy of the body in these construction shapes. But keep practicing, keep going. maybe I want to see a rougher sketch. And you can see how rough I sketch. I would love to see that more. Great work, Sian. Let's go to Frank. So this is a cool drawing. Again, I really like your style. So also decide yourself which style you want to use. And that can be really different than that from mine. So he doesn't want to get in this thing. So maybe we can move this more like this. So he looks more terrified. So maybe he's holding this thing like this. Or maybe it works better if he wants to. Yeah, maybe that this does work. I don't know, but I would search for something like this way. And then maybe use these things really going out. So he really tries to stay out this pen. So here, and I think your first doodles could be really rough, like this. And he's maybe using these, only this one. Maybe he's doing something like this. You see his legs wiggle here. And he only uses these ones to stand. I don't know. Could be something, but then it feels more urgent. So before I would draw something like that, I would try out different things. So maybe, what could I try more? So maybe he's using his tail and these things. Like this. And then he's holding these legs up because he can't reach that thing there. And then I think his head. So really trying to find some things about how can we make him more scared. So think about the story and how you can push that story. I think you did a great work. And maybe, for example, here you did shadow lower, but maybe if I would color a thing like this. So for example, here's the shape, and here's his head, then here are these things. I would maybe make this part dark. Then the same here, it is dark. That you really get that spooky feeling. So like this, but that you use that shadow here instead of below. So maybe you see in that fish in there or something. Maybe it can even bigger. But before I would start working on the final sketch, I would really try out some different things. and it can be as ugly as this. It's just the ID. I don't know. But because this feels like he's really passive. If I would be above a hot boiling pan of water or soup, I would fight with everything I got. And this feels a bit, oh no. And this feels more like he's really screaming or fighting. So try to think about that how to push it more. So Lucas, so you also asked if you could use this drawing for your portfolio because it's based on Sabrina. And I think that's really fine if you would say, if you would write my version of the Netflix show Sabrina. So it's important to say it with it, and then it's totally fine. But I think original characters are most important for your portfolio, because if you want to work somewhere, let me say, for example, so my dream was always to work for Disney as a character artist. So how do you get that? So you need a portfolio. And what do you want to show in a portfolio? I would make my own project. So I would make my own, so I want to be a character artist at Disney. So I would do as if I'm already working for Disney. So I would think of my own movie. And then characters for that movie. So what would they make in, what would be your job as a character artist at Disney? I think that would be to make lineups, model sheets, expressions, etc. So what could be more is look, for example, the art of book of any particular movie and use that for reference. And then I would make these things. And then, for example, I would come up with one movie and then I would make 10 pages fill with that. But then you really show you know how to make all these things. And then they can think, Disney will think, oh, we need a character artist that can make lineups, model sheets, and then they see your project and then you can, yeah, do that. And you can translate that to being a game artist or an environment artist. So really try to think about what would a studio like that need and what are they searching for. So I think it's fine to use this in your portfolio, but it's not that if you're going to work at a studio, you would go make fan art or something. At studio, you would make new characters. They would hire you to develop new characters. So let's talk a bit about this character now. So place this one here. I think this really cool drawing. And I don't know if it's an original character, but if it's a cool design. I really like that color, that's mysterious. So here maybe this feet is up and maybe you can do something like this leg is stretched or something. So then you get really this depth, this perspective here drawing. And then also maybe use that here so that this hand is even maybe a little bit bigger or something so that you use this perspective. And then, so this sword is maybe also a bit moving a bit to us. So really try to think about the perspective. And this one is maybe moving, yeah, it's a little bit more farther away. So it's smaller because of the perspective. And those are also the things you want to show in your portfolio, that you know how perspective work, and that you can draw characters in perspective, and that you can make them extra mysterious. So maybe I would really try to make, if this character is mysterious, really try to maybe push this hood more, and then maybe make this even darker. I think that's really cool that you can see these eyes, and then you make this character really dark. So I think this could be a really cool drawing. So maybe what I maybe would do for a portfolio is that when you have this character, maybe also make an expression sheet where you show how this character looks angry, and then you're showing it from this head from a different angle. This character looks surprised or scared, or yeah, scared or something like this. Then here another face, maybe from the side, that is maybe holding its breath, I don't know. And then maybe here you would show the whole turnaround, showing that you know how to draw the character from different angles. And then this would be one page for your portfolio. Then you would say character blah 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 for the movie blah 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 blah. And I think this could be a cool portfolio piece. So I always like to show these kind of things. And so for example, I have here the book The Art of Big Hero 6 from Disney. And there you see these kind of pages. So try to look up some page, maybe there are some art of book of your favorite movie or game, and try to see what kind of things do they make for that. So that could be interesting to watch for. So thanks everyone for sending your work. And anyone who wants some feedback, you can send it to me, see the description under this video. And yeah, I'm happy to review it. So thanks everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.